So this is the second set of angle types. And here we're going to go over vertical angles, supplementary angles, and complementary angles. So let's first just talk about vertical angles. And when we talk about vertical angles, we're going to start with something we already know, which is linear pair. So the one thing that we already know is that when we have a straight line, that is 180 degrees. So if that's 180 degrees, what is 180 minus 65? That's 115. So the straight line allows us to use 180. So this is 180 minus 65, which is 115. Well, if you look at the paper the other way, maybe I didn't draw that straight line. Maybe I drew the straight line here. And 65 plus this angle is also a straight line, which is also 180 degrees. So over here, I would also be doing 180 minus 65, which is also 115. So then, if you look at the straight line this way, what would this angle be? Well, that angle would be 180 minus 115, which, no surprises here, is equal to 65. So if you look at this picture, do you see that when you have two lines that cross, the angles across from each other are going to be equal to each other? Okay, so when you have two lines that intersect, the angles that are opposite each other are equal or congruent. Equal or congruent. Congruent meaning they are the same angle. 95 degrees here means that this is also 95 degrees. Then if we bring back our straight line, this angle is 180 minus 95, which is 85. But if that angle's 85, then so is the one across from it. Okay, so what you're going to see is that vertical angles, that's called vertical, even though we think vertical as like up and down, okay? So we call these vertical angles because even if you turned the page, now these angles here would be vertical also. So vertical angles are really the angles that are across from each other. Okay? So vertical angles are two angles across from each other when two lines intersect. That's their definition. Then the vertical angles theorem says, and what you're going to start noticing is that theorems and postulates are all written in this kind of if, then format. So if two angles are vertical angles, so if you see two angles and they are vertical angles, then you are allowed to set them equal. Okay, so an example here, we're going to solve for x over here. This kind of is set up as your general equation, reason, and then your work kind of format that we've been doing. So I can see I have two lines that are intersecting. It has to happen. It's almost like an X marks the spot, okay? That has to happen. Then my equation, so remember we've been talking about it's okay to write your equation first. So these two vertical angles are equal to each other. So your equation would be maybe 13x minus 15 is equal to 10x plus 6. I'll slide that over for you. Okay, so then we would solve that. Our reason here is I see that these angles are vertical angles. That's a theorem. And now my general equation can come from the picture. So this angle here, which is REG, or GER, that would be kind of fun, GER, is equal to the angle across from it, that 10x plus 6. So my letters for 10x plus 6 are AET or TEA. Okay, and then we would solve that. So 3x equals 18, or x equals 6 for our solving part. Okay, that's your part 1. That's as far as we're going to go on day 1. So on the homework, you're doing the problems A, B, 1, 4, and 6. So A, B on the homework 7, that's the 2 at the top. And then you're doing problems 1, 4, and 6. Okay, just really quick, a little note about problem number 4. This box right here, since we haven't really talked about it a whole lot, remember that means 90 degrees.